I have, even though I didn't grow up in Kentucky, and and nobody cares about my background, I understand. But I grew up in Alabama, went to school in Alabama. I understand Alabama football, and I think because of that, and by extension, I understand Kentucky basketball. I've got a good feeling for what it means to people, and also the type of personality that you have to embrace the scrutiny and the expectations of the job. John Calipari is perfect for that, and it's showing on the court, and it's showing by the things that happen off the court, and it's showing by the type of enthusiasm and passion that the fans show by packing for our show today, and it was extraordinarily gratifying for us, and it was great to just be a part of.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can you talk about the crowd today and just actually experiencing it and what it was like?
We haven't had one like it. I mean, not only in numbers, we've had great passion almost everywhere we've been. And to combine the extraordinary passion of Kentucky fans with that type of number and filling the arena that far in advance and filling it with people, many of whom, as Cal pointed out during the show, don't have tickets to the game tonight, is remarkable testimony to how much it means to the Kentucky fans. And while it was very gratifying for us to be a part of it, for them to come out and see our show, I don't think that we're knuckleheaded enough to think that they just came to see our show. They came out because they wanted to use our show to exhibit their passion that is frankly unmatched for their team and for their sport. And it was a remarkable atmosphere. When I get old and someday they drag me out of a broadcasting chair someplace, when I look back over all of the things that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of, this is going to be very near the top of the list. Just this atmosphere and to be a part of this excitement, this passion this morning.
So you'd rank it as one of the top performances?
I really don't like to rank it because the stuff gets out on the internet and people think you're taking shots at all of the other great places we've been, and everybody's been great. We haven't had a bad stop. A couple weeks ago in Manhattan, Kansas was unbelievable. Champaign last week was unbelievable. But 24,000. 24,000 in the stands. Going through the things that they had to go through just to get the tickets to come to the show. It was remarkable. We haven't experienced anything like it, and we're very, very grateful to all of the Kentucky fans and for the Kentucky administration athletic department for making it possible.
Any chance you'll be doing the John Wall dance? We saw Hubert and Jay did a little bit.
What, you mean something like that? Is that what you want? I don't think I'm good enough to do the Cousins boogie, though, right there.
No.
Did you notice that Hubert got booed for the North Carolina, Jay got booed
Absolutely.
for Duke? Why did nobody boo Erin for being a Florida grad?
Because she didn't. I think because she didn't really mention it, and there might have been another reason, but I'm going to stay away from that. But these guys, I asked Jay before the show, I said, now would you like to really endear yourself to the Kentucky crowd? He said, how's that? I said, how about if I go out there and I'll be Grant Hill and I'll throw the ball 3/4 of the length of the court and you catch it and shoot the shot like Leighton. And I said, and how you'd really help me is if you missed it this time, So he didn't.
He didn't want to do that?
No, he didn't go for that. He didn't go for that.
Rece, can you talk about how important it is for Kentucky to be back on the scene, how important that is for college basketball?
It's very important, and people sometimes think that it's not, but it is. For when you have a fan base that cares as much as they do, and when you have a brand name in college basketball like Kentucky, they need to be good. It makes everybody else better. The SEC, if the SEC has to keep up with Kentucky, it pulls up the entire conference. It creates greater interest all across the board in college basketball because, all of us grew up, particularly a guy like me who grew up in the South. All of the other programs were great, and you knew it, but for an entire region of the country, and for much of all of the country at times, Kentucky was the standard bearer. They were the, I would say gold standard, maybe blue standard is what I need to say. They were the standard. And when they're good, it pulls up the rest of the SEC, it makes a power conference better, and it also creates a great deal of attention nationally because they're a brand name outside their region. People in California and Washington will turn on the TV, and if they see that blue uniform, they're going to stop and watch for a little while because it's Kentucky, so it's important for them to be good.
A year ago, you were probably sitting on the set and you guys were probably debating whether or not they were in the tournament. Are you surprised at how quickly it's been turned around?
Yes and no. I mean, maybe to be number 2 with all of the freshmen and for all of the freshmen to live up to billing might be somewhat surprising, because sometimes you see guys come in and, you know, I think Bledsoe was a little bit of a late bloomer. Maybe it was because of qualifying issues or whatever. You know, there were some questions about, you know, how's Cousins going to fit in once he gets into a more structured collegiate environment. Wall, I think everybody expected to be sensational. But instead, what you get, Wall's every bit as good as advertised. Cousins is reaching his potential. I mean, obviously still room to improve, but he's getting there. Bledsoe has been so much better than everybody thought. And then you have Orton and all of the other veteran guys who've accepted roles and fit in. That's because of John and Calipari. I mean, he's led the team masterfully, and so from that standpoint, I'm not surprised because I know what kind of coach he is, and I'm not surprised because talent rules the day in college basketball. But to have everything fit and everything fall into place and nobody be disappointing, it probably does give you a little bit of a raised eyebrow, at least, to how quickly they've been able to do it.
Thanks, Rece.